Okay, the final thing I want to show you in this first introductory course is how to create a database diagram. And there's a really cool tool available inside of SQL Server Management Studio, this database diagrams node underneath your database. I may have to install diagram support. It'll tell us if we need to do that. I'm going to go ahead and right click and select New Database Diagram. It says the database doesn't have one or more of the support objects required to use database diagramming. Do you wish to create them? And click Yes. All right, so it's created them, and now I get to choose which tables I want to add to my diagram. So in this case, maybe I just want to add two of them. I select one and I hold down Shift and select the other. So now I'm just going to display authors and books on my diagram. All right, and I'm going to hit Close for now, and then I want to just take a look at this diagram that it created. In fact, let's go ahead, right click and say zoom. Let's go 75% just so it fits on our screen a little bit nicer. So here we have a relationship between books and authors. You can see authors has the primary key and the books has the foreign key, and the primary key looks like a key. The foreign key looks like an infinity sign. This usually indicates cardinality, which means that one author can have 1 to a billion related books. So one author can write multiple books, right? And it's probably true in some cases where a single book could have multiple authors, but we haven't modeled it that way in our database in this simple example. That's something that we might learn about whenever we're looking at the designing relational database course on DevView, okay? But at any rate, now you can see these two tables. I could even come in here and do some simple edits. I wouldn't recommend that. You edit it the way that I've showed you in the past. But it is a great way in order to kind of get a bird's eye view of everything in your table, and you can create multiple diagrams. Let's go ahead and save this diagram as first diagram. All right, and we might give it a more descriptive name in the future, but I can close it down, I can open it back up, and get back and see just maybe a snapshot, a few of all of the tables in my database. What if I want to include now the publisher table as well? I'm going to right-click and select Add Table, and it'll show me all the available tables. I'll go ahead and click the Add Table, hit Close, and I can even right-click now and say, hey, why don't you arrange the tables a little more nicely now that we've made some changes, and it just reformatted the entire diagram. That's pretty cool. I'm going to save those changes. I can also add an annotation here. This is my diagram, all right, and you can communicate now the intent of the various tables and relationships to others. Obviously, hovering over things like this relationship, it gave us some information about the relationship. We can also resize things. So in this case, you'd have to scroll. But what if we wanted to view the whole thing without scrolling? We could do that. Obviously, you can set a print area as well. And I'm not going to demonstrate that, but we can go File, Print, or Page Setup, and we can make it so that we can view the page breaks and see which tables will fit on a single sheet of paper and which ones won't, okay? So it has a lot of built-in functionality there. You can also scrub around the entire diagram using this little scrub tool in the lower right-hand corner. I think that's pretty much all I want to show you about it for now. But it's very handy. In fact, I'm going to give you a database diagram in the very next video so that you can go off and complete the next challenge. There is one more thing I wanted to show you here. I'm going to right-click on one of the tables themselves, and I want to select properties, I believe it is. Oh, and yeah, so when I select on a given table now, I can view the properties about that table. I can also remove or delete tables from the database or the diagram. Be careful. Right-click, Table View, and I'm going to choose Standard, which gives me more information than just the name of the column. It also gives me the data type and whether or not to allow nulls, all right, which is a pretty important piece of information. I'll have to do that on a table-by-table basis by right-clicking. But then I could also select Custom in order to decide what I want displayed here. So I can go right-click, modify custom, and choose which columns I want visible. So I might remove nullable and choose whether or not it's an identity column and whether it is a row GUID, and click OK. And you can see now there's little check boxes that will indicate true or false whether this is an identity column or a row GUID. And if we look over here and let's right click, say table view custom, now you can see that the book ID is a unique identifier, so its row GUID is checked, but its identity is not. All right, so that is everything you can do with the database diagram. You can create multiple ones again as snapshots. We've just created one in this video. When you're done with it, you can obviously delete it, or you can even rename it, things of that nature, print it out. So it's a helpful tool, and I'm going to deliver one of these to you so that you can go off and create the final challenge in this SQL series. So we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.